Hi, this is Akaboo69, and today we're going to be talking about my brand new processor, the RP255 by Digitech. Let me see if I can show you what this thing looks like. Hold on. There we go. That is my new pedal, and we're going to be demoing it out today. I guess I'll show you, even though I like to hide a lot of my stuff just because I like to make you think, what we're coming out of. We are coming out of my brand new, although it's actually not new, it's new to me, I got it at a pawn shop, Crate GX1200 H. A demo on this will be coming out shortly, by the way, but today we're going to be talking about my first new product, my RP255. You'll notice that there is no more G and X pedal, got rid of it. And yeah, I went to a smaller pedal, but I think it was worth it because I really still have the same amount of foot switches I have. I have a clean, a dirty, and then that's my delay when I turn the wah up. I also have another separate lead setting for, you know, if I want a wider lead sound. And this is my 212 cabinet that I'm coming out of. As you can see, it is actually a shelf, but it sounds great. It's using Celestion knockoffs. They sound like greenbacks, but they're actually not greenbacks. They're Crate speakers or whatever, but they're voiced like a greenback. So anyways, we're going to be talking about the RP255. Okay, what does this pedal do? Well, it models amps, it models effects, it models stop boxes, and it models, you know, like distortions, overdrives, tube screamers. I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff involved in it, and I'm pretty happy with it. We got the pedal running into the insert jack of the Crate, so the entire preamp is bypassed, so you get purely pedal tone. Thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, this pedal is pretty cool, and this is going to be part one in our series of what this pedal can do, because there's too much to cover in one video. It'd be like an hour long if I were really to show you everything, because I mean, it goes from like amp models, cab models, effects models, distortion models, 20-second looper, you name it. It's even got USB software, so it's pretty cool. I guess we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna look at the amp models. Oh yeah, the pedal also has a separate output modes depending on what application you're using. I put it in the amp output mode because I'm coming out of amp. When you do that, your speaker cabinets still stay on, but your tone gets a little fried because the cabinet models are meant to give you more crunch. But the thing is, you get too much crunch if you leave them on when you're running in the output mode for the amp output, because it's boosting your treble, and those cabinet models are giving you that mic sound out of a cab, and it's just too trebly, too much high end. So do yourself a favor. If you run through a live amp, turn off your speaker cabinet models. Even if you think they sound cool and you like having the different voicing options, it's too fried sounding. Leave them on when you go through the mixer. Okay, enough said. First amp, we are looking at 57 Champ. Here we go. This is a Fender. Let me turn up just a little bit so you can hear me. I seriously doubt they pushed that amp that hard back then. That's, you know, more of a clean amp with a light crunch, but you never know. Alright, now we're looking at 57 Deluxe. Here we go. As you can tell, they sound almost the same. As you can tell, once again, it's another light crunch kind of amp. It's really meant for cleaning. In fact, I seriously doubt anybody back then really pushed those amps that hard, because these are amps from the 50s, and let's face the fact, metal wasn't heavy in the 50s. So here we go. This is our Fender Bassman, which is the blueprint for what became the Marshall JTM45. Here we go. Cleans up really well. Actually, what you'll notice about the Fender Bassman is that it's got a lot more bottom end thickness to it. It's really not actually supposed to be a guitar amp. It was a bass amp, but guitar players fell in love with it because they like the overdrive characteristics. It's got just that really warm sounding distortion, and it worked itself into the guitar circles. Okay, this next one is the cleanest of all cleans, the 65 twin reverb. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to add some crunch to it just to show you that this amp was basically an amp that had a lot of headroom. It had a little bit of drive, but it wasn't really a mean machine. Basically, it's pretty clean. I think the real thing probably got a little hotter, but not much. Okay, this is a hotter Fender. This is our Deluxe Reverb. Let's make sure the volumes are good. Here we go, Deluxe Reverb. Okay, now we're going into Marshall territory. This is our JTM45. Essentially, it's a Fender Bassman clone with British components. Here we go. Let's turn up the output a little bit. Not too shabby. Very Marshall-y sounding. Okay, now we're getting into a new Marshall era. This is the Plexis, the 1959 SLP. The circuitry started changing, and you get more of the British style Marshall. You don't have the bass circuit from the original Marshalls. Here we go. Or if you roll your volume back, nice, clean. Not too shabby. Okay, this is the same amp now. This is the jump panel. It's a Marshall Plexi with the bright normal channels jumped, which was a common practice back in the day. It made the amp sound fuller and thicker, but also you had more clarity and you had a little bit better high end, a little bit better low end. It's hard to explain, but it sounds better. But here we go. track, and once again, cleans up really nice. Okay, this is master volume Marshall era. We're starting to get into more preamp saturation, and this is the JMP 2203, the big brother or big sister to the JCM 800. They call it 77 master volume. Here we go. Let's crank it out a little Okay, now JCM 800. This is based on the 2203 model. This is from 1983. Here we go. Okay, now we're getting into more modern Marshall territory. This is a JCM 900. It uses a mixture of solid state and tube distortion. Here we go, JCM 900. Okay, now we're getting to the Vox AC15. There we go. Make sure you can hear everything on a decent volume. Not too shabby. Okay. Vox AC30 top boost. This one's not too bad either. This one's got a real thick, creamy overdrive. It's a Class A amplifier. Here we go. And it cleans up really well. I will admit, it's a little bit on the bumpy end when it comes to the bass. It's a little muddy, and I can see why Brian May might, use a treble booster through it. It cleans it up, and it gives it more sustain without it sounding like crap. Okay, this is the Hiwatt. Here we go. Okay, we entered the Mesa Boogie world. This is a Mark II-C, more comparable to the Mark II-B, not so much a Mark II-C Plus. That's a whole nother animal. Think like Mob Rules tone on Black Sabbath. It's got a real, just kind of classic sound, but it's real dark. And okay, dual rectifier sound. This is for you more modern metalheads. Here we go. Just heavy sounding. Matchless HC30. This is a Class A amplifier that uses EO84s. Kind of comparable to a Vox, sort of. tone that produces. Soldano SLO100. That is a very nice amp. Cost you $4,000 in real life. This is basically based on a Hot Rod and Marshall design, but it uses American power tubes. Here we go. Not too shabby. Okay, Digitech Solo. It's a fat, mid-rangey solo tone that Digitech crafted. Anyways, Digitech metal. It's a really brutal metal sound. It's an original amp model by Digitech. You tell me what you think these original tones remind you of. What amps do you think they are modeling? Here we go, Digitech metal. Okay. Digitech Bright, based on a bright, clean sound. Here we go. Okay. Digitech Clean, it's based on a clean tube amplifier. Here we go. Okay, we're almost done. Digitech High Gain, it's a high gain tube amp or whatever, so they claim. Okay, Acoustic Red, here we go, based on an acoustic. Okay, that's about it. I'm gonna do something for you, Tony, if you're watching this. I'm gonna show off your preset that you sent me, except I'm turning off the cab model because it will sound a little bit more natural through my setup. Okay, Tony, your preset. Here we go. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. That's basically it for today. I hope you like everything you heard. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments if you love it or hate it. Would you buy one of these if you had the money? It's only $150, so I think it's a pretty good deal. Let's put it this way. All the amps that it models, all the cabs and all the effects would cost a fortune alone if you were to buy them in real life. My setup alone for my standard preset, I use a distortion or an overdrive, an amp. I use a chorus, a delay, a reverb, a wah when needed. That's just like $3 or $4 grand in real life, but in this pedal it's all, you know, one package. So anyways, thank you guys, bye.